the Fall Virtual NEARC Conference of 2020. I'm delighted to be the first one you're going to see for this 2.5-day conference. So this is the NEARC 101. It's basically just a guide to introduce everyone who might be new to NEARC to the conference, and some tips on how to kind of navigate this new world of virtual conferencing. So yeah, NEARC 101, just to remind you that the platform we are using is Whova. We do have Marie here with us. If you have any questions or need tech support, she's also in this conference or this session to answer any tech support questions. So my name is Brittany Hofnagel. I am on the NEARC Board of Directors. I've been on the board since 2018, and my last year will be next year of 2021. I am based in Bourne, Massachusetts. I work for a private consulting company called Woods Hole Group, and this is my 4th NEARC conference. Here I have some pictures and a list of all of the other NEARC board members, which some of them are here attending this session. We have Emily Wilson, who is our president, Esther Olson Murphy, our treasurer, Mike Doyle, our secretary, Katie Grillo, Shane Bratt, Pam Bregnan, and William DeLibrio, who is our legal counsel. We also want to make sure that we extend a virtual thanks to the host committee for this year's conference. Everyone that's listed right here worked really hard to create a platform and a schedule that was inclusive of a variety of topics, a lot of virtual meetings, and a lot of work going into planning a virtual conference. We always want to extend our thanks to Esri, who often sponsor a lot of workshops and a lot of sessions, and is a big supporter of this conference and always makes a presence. And specifically these people listed for their active involvement. And also a shout out to Delaney, which is our event coordinator, specifically Leslie Pelch and all of her staff, such as Marie, that's included in this session. And with everyone's cooperation, we're able to, put on a successful conference every year, 2 conferences every year. So some of you who are new might be asking, what is NEARC? NEARC is really a users conference. It's a way for users to interact with users helping users, great networking opportunities to meet new people who love GIS and geospatial analyses and different platforms, just for us to, really become a community of Esri and geospatial users. We are an independent regional group of ARC users, and congratulations by attending and registering for this conference. You are now a member, and so you have a vote and a say in the conference, and you also have no dues. So congratulations, you're all members, anyone that's new to this conference. NEARC is a nonprofit formed in 1986, and we do have an executive board, as I mentioned, that consists of 7 members, president, treasurer, secretary, and 4 additional board members, as well as legal counsel. And we are all volunteer. We love what we do, and we love putting the time in to, put these conferences together and meet new people. And it's been really rewarding. So our demographics, we're traditionally a users group from around New England, which includes New York. And so it's fun to really just get to know people, knowing that everyone's from different places. And I think even in this conference, we have representatives from a bunch of other states, what you'll see later in the conference. We all come from different GIS life categories. A few of us working from the government, a lot of us in education, a lot of utility demographics. We have representatives from nonprofits, commercial, casual users, and full-time GeoGeeks. It's just a really special place for people who love GIS data and spatial analyses from all different types of demographics and work and self-interest. And being able to rely on each other to answer questions from all different types of backgrounds. If you want, right now, take a second in the session chat box, type in where you're attending NEARC right now. Be interested to see, and I can kind of go over this at the end of my presentation, but would love to see where everyone right now currently in this session is typing in from. So some of the reasons why people attend this conference is, again, users asking users questions, sharpening our skills, learning new analyses, learning new skills, new technical approaches. So it's just a really great way to help sharpen your skills. It's another way to meet GIS professionals. I know it's a little bit different this year, but on Whova, there's plenty of opportunities where you can set up meetings and private online gatherings with people that you're interested with talking to. So I really encourage you to look at the profiles of all the attendees and the exhibitors and really send messages to those that you want to talk to, get to know them, ask questions. This is an opportunity for students to really talk to employers. So again, this is an opportunity to meet GIS professionals. So take advantage of the Whova platform to send private messages. We typically do have a message board at NEARC. We don't have those physically, but there is a message category on Whova and topic conversations what you can participate in via the community tab on Whova. And so I would also encourage you to engage and ask questions. Are there suggestions that you have for NEARC? There's opportunity for that to happen in the messages and the community tab on Whova. During the fall conference, we also offer tech sessions, which are usually offered by Esri. Again, thank you to Esri for offering those. But those sessions are also allowing our users to get one-on-one advice in collaboration with Esri staff. And learn new approaches, learn about new softwares, new platforms from Esri. This is a great opportunity for people to really talk to Esri staff. And as I mentioned, the Esri Collaboration Center Q&A. This is a great way to, again, collaborate with Esri and ask specific questions that you might have about your work directly to Esri staff. And just to update, we do have the, how do I go back? So our Esri Collaboration Center Q&A is happening on Wednesday via Whova. So if you are already attending that, make sure you do attend that if you have specific questions that you want to talk to Esri staff on. We also do offer workshops. In the past, we've done ArcGIS Pro and other platforms. So we do have very detailed workshops that are offered to give you a in-person experience of walking through new software that you don't know about. But we are offering those workshops again on Wednesday via Whova. And we also pride ourselves on having a bunch of community events. Traditionally, this is, going out to dinner and making friends, getting a drink, having our, evening activities. But we do still have our virtual events planned, which I will talk on the next slide. So over the next couple of days, we do have a bunch of community events planned on the Whova site. And the first starting with the business meeting. Since you guys are all now members, you have a vote. So we do have a couple positions opened this year for the board. So we want to make sure that you show up and get involved in NEARC and learn about how the organization is run, and the business meeting will be a great time to experience that. So that's Monday, that's today, this afternoon at 3:15. Show up and vote, your members, and we know how important votes are. Monday evening tonight, we have the Mappy Hour, which will be, a topic breakout rooms, and it's just a great time for you guys to grab a beer, grab a drink, grab water, and meet some fellow attendees. So that's happening tonight, 5 to 6 p.m. Tomorrow at 3:15, we have the award ceremony and the scavenger hunt. And there's some different competitions going on, how involved you are in engaging in the Whova platform, and things like that. So those are happening tomorrow at 3:15. And then we have the all conference social, where we're having a GeoJeopardy, and that's happening at 3:45. And that's really, it's a fun virtual game of testing your knowledge of NEARC in the Northeast. And Tuesday evening's Mappy Hour at 5 will also be topic breakout rooms. And we are asking you to wear, if you have been to NEARC in the past, wear your past NEARC swag. So we're excited about those, and I'll be attending. And so this is a great time to, be relaxed and getting engaged with your fellow NEARC attendees. So some other things that we do, we also do hold a one-day spring NEARC conference. Next year, tentatively, is at Westfield State University on Tuesday, May 18th. We are still in the preliminary planning of this conference, and there'll be more information to come. So this is a very focused one-day conference. Great opportunity for more students to get involved, and things like that. We also do have an email listserv, which is attached here. And this is an opportunity, if you sign up, you get emails about new, analyses, you get job applications, advertisements for new positions. And it's just a way to keep us engaged with each other throughout the year. So it's always a good resource to talk to, get questions answered to processes that people are having trouble with, but then also an up a platform for job announcements and things like that. We do often try, we often do try to organize a UC meetup, which is the Esri Users Conference that happens every summer. So we do try to coordinate a meeting or a meetup at that conference for NEARC users. And we do offer scholarships for the fall conferences. And so, especially this year, we know that budgeting for conferences has been tricky for all of us. And so we definitely encourage, if you have the need, that you can apply for a scholarship. And some of you that are attending today have received them this year. So what now? So beyond the Whova platform, we do have the Whova app. We suggest you to use it to engage, communicate, ask questions. It's very user-friendly. I've been trying to learn a lot about it the last couple of days, and trying to engage with other people. So we suggest you to use that. And you can look at profiles of attendees and get information, say hi, you can message them, and you can also set up a let's meet where you can have a one-on-one conversation. If you have questions, ask questions to the board of directors or even the host committee. You can do that through the community tab on Whova. There are a bunch of topic questions. You can interact with the exhibitors. So just definitely explore the community tab, and this way you can talk to attendees, ask questions, with certain topics and engage in different ways. So new this year, we are able to have a virtual vendors and poster session. So we are able to not only show posters, but show dashboards, apps, lightning talks, exhibit booths. And you can see all of this on the exhibitors tab on Whova, on the online website, and through the community tab in the app. So again, you can interact with the exhibitors, view the posters that we've had submitted, submit story maps, observe story maps and dashboards that people have submitted as well. And so it's just a great way to learn about what people are doing right now. So we suggest you to do that too. So next up at 9 a.m. today, we have the welcome session and keynote speaker. That's where you'll meet the president, Emily Wilson, will be welcoming and opening up the NEARC conference. And this session right now that you're in will turn over to the NEARC help desk, which Marie is here to help with that. So if you have questions in technical needs, you can stay here and ask Marie those questions. So again, under the session information for NEARC 101, this talk, there is a 5-minute video that walks you through the Whova platform. And maybe Marie can also post the link in the chat box for us. But if you want to watch this 5-minute video, this will go over a few of the things I've already talked about, but help you also delve more into the Whova platform if you have questions. And I think now we can open it up. You can submit your general questions in the session, or I guess we can maybe unmute and just have a conversation. I did see that we have quite a few comments, but I see that we have some Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, New York, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York. Okay, so still all New England people. But yeah, so if anyone has questions, Marie did link the YouTube or the Whova app platform. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask them.
Yeah, the link to the video tour of the site is on that session details page. It's in the description. So I just posted the link right to this agenda item so that people can also see where the session Q&A and the chat box live.
Thank you.
Hey, Brittany, this is Pam. Do you mind if I add a couple of things?
Go for it.
I just really want to stress that we have some vendors and sponsors here in the Whova app and in the virtual showcase area. And I think that the scavenger hunt is tied to checking out what our vendors and sponsors have in that area. So I highly recommend folks go and visit that gallery or that exhibitor area and talk to our vendors and sponsors, and who knows, you might win some a scavenger hunt award.
Thanks, Pam.
Brittany, I have a question.
Sure.
What is the main difference, and I can help you answer this if you want, but this is just something that I've noticed, is what is the main difference between the app on my phone and just accessing Whova in the browser, like in Google Chrome?
You want me to take that one?
Yeah, go for it. I'm not sure
Okay.
I have the best answer for that.
Yeah, so there's a few differences. One of the main ones is for the presenters. In the Whova app, there's a thing called the Speaker Hub. And so when you log in to the mobile app, right at the top on that landing page, there'll be a heading that says Speaker Hub, and then you can see there's some resources for the presenters. One of the main ones is that they can easily on that page see who has added their session to their agenda. So if you're curious in advance or want to be able to kind of modify your presentation based on participation, you can look there as a resource. Also, if a presenter posts a poll to the Whova site, they can then go to the polls section within the mobile app and see the results of their poll so far. Aside from that, I think the only other thing that I am aware of that functions on the app versus desktop is the leaderboard. But other than that, I'm pretty sure that most of the functionality is the same between the two.
Something else I noticed is in the app specifically on the phone, if you go to attendees, there's a recommended tab. And that tab is what shows you, like, if you have any tags for interest, then the app kind of pulls those all together and puts them into the recommendations. So you can see if you're interested in 3D, for example, you can see other people that have said they're interested in 3D, and then you can create a little like meetup or chat based on those particular topics, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's great.
But it feels like for me, the way I'm working between the two is for all the sessions that I'm attending, I have that all open on my computer using Chrome so that I can have Zoom open in a big screen and be able to see the presentations. But then also I have another Whova app in my desktop that allows me to kind of navigate through the agenda, look at the chat, things like that. And then I kind of have my phone open just for like the community chatting kind of stuff.
Yeah, I see my engagement from my year that I won the conference 2 years ago. I can't compete with the new the attendees who are on the leaderboard this year. Nate Ward is up there. So that's fun. It's a fun engagement piece, you know, different tasks and how you get so engaged in the app is, you know, you get points for doing whatever, sending a message, saying hi, posting a question. And so it's just a fun way to be engaged in the next 2.5 days.
The nice thing with the mobile app too is that you're, you know, you might be sitting at your computer during your presentation, but then be stepping away. And so the app is a nice way to keep you connected to the community at NEARC, keep you connected to the conference, not just during a presentation that you're sitting in on.
Absolutely.
So as a reminder, anyone has the ability to unmute themselves. So if you have questions, feel free to do that, or you can use the raise hand tool. I'm
curious how many folks in the room today are first-time attendees. Can we do like a hand raise for that maybe? And Brittany, I think Brittany can see that, but I can't see. So raise your hand if it's your first time at NEARC.
Yeah, I'm not sure where, does that come up on the Zoom? On the chat?
Yeah, so if you click on the participants list, and Brittany, for you, if you're not familiar with how to do that while you have share screen, you just move your mouse to the top of your, the area where you're sharing your screen, and the Zoom controls would pop up. So on that participants list, you can see like Kyle Blake has his hand raised, and okay. Caroline Lawler.
And Stephen, Otis. Welcome, guys. Welcome, everyone.
So I think most people, and maybe it's an unfair assumption, but I would think that most people at this point might know some basic Zoom controls, but just in case you don't, and you're tuning in, if you move your mouse around over the Zoom window, there's a navigation bar down at the bottom for things like mute or unmute, that's turning on and off your microphone, stop or start video, that makes it so that we can or cannot see you. There's also the participants tab. In here, you'll see that there's a chat option, but for all the regular sessions that you'll be attending, that chat box is going to be turned off in Zoom. And so you'll need to use the chat tool that's in Whova. It's only so that we can kind of force everything to be in one place, easier for the presenter and the moderator to monitor. It's also screen share at the bottom. And so if you are presenting in another session, that button might be something that you'll want to make note of. It's the green one in Zoom. And then there's also a reactions tab, and that lets you give things like a thumbs up, and you can see what that looks like when I do it. Katie did like a little celebration. So just some things to play around with.
And going back to the video option, if folks are interested, we do have a number of different NEARC backgrounds. I think, Pam, I think I saw you had one of them as well. So if you are interested in a virtual background, I'll post that link. They're all in a folder in Google Drive. So there's the link to that. So you can grab any of those virtual backgrounds if you're interested. And the way to turn that on is right next to the video down in your Zoom navigation, there's an up arrow. And if you click that up arrow, then it should say select a camera, or you can choose a virtual background. And if you do choose virtual background, then you'll see there's some like default backgrounds that Zoom has built in, like such as the globe, maybe might be of interest. And then there's a plus button where you can add an image. And so you can grab an image from that Google Drive folder to add some different NEARC backgrounds, or when you come to the Mappy Hour events, we also have the hotel bar from Mount Washington Inn, which is where we were supposed to originally be this year, or so you can hang out outside of Mount Washington or inside of the Mount Washington bar. So check those out if you're interested.
And if you set a background for yourself and it looks like you are seeing text backwards, that's a setting in Zoom where you can do mirror my image, but just know that your image mirroring changes the way that you see yourself. It doesn't change the way that attendees see you. So we see the text going the right way regardless.
So when I had that one, Marie, with the sponsors, it was backwards for everyone because I did mirror my image.
No, so that changes only the way that you see yourself. So it doesn't actually change. If you click mirror my image, it doesn't change it for the attendees.
Okay, so it looked correct. Okay.
Right. Yes, it did look correct.
Good.
So if anyone has questions, feel free to jump in and ask them or use the chat feature.
Yes, hello?
Hi.
I can't down the Loa app on my my laptop, but so how do you log in without the app? I can log in to my phone where I can download the app.
Okay, there's actually not something you need to download on your computer for accessing Whova. Is that what you are asking? It's just a web address that you go to. So I will put the direct link to Whova for desktop into the chat box right now. So I prefaced it by saying direct link to Whova for desktop and then put the link there. And if you click on that, it should just open up in your web browser. And just as a reminder, if you are using Internet Explorer as your web browser, it's not fully compatible with the Whova site. So we do recommend that you use Google Chrome is the preferred browser, but Microsoft Edge works as well.
Okay, great, appreciate it.
Yeah. And I'm thinking that you probably all have Zoom on your computers because you're in this session, but I will post a link to Zoom download client for meetings into the chat. So if you don't already, for some reason, that's the link to download Zoom on your computer.
So it's 9 o'clock. Marie, you're staying here, correct?
I am, yeah. So 9 o'clock, just for others who aren't aware, that's kind of the end of this NEARC 101 session. But now it switches over to this virtual help desk. And so I will just be sitting in here ready to help you navigate Zoom control or answer any questions that you have about the Whova site. So thanks, Brittany, for welcoming everyone to the conference. Great job.
Thank you. All right, thanks, Marie, for handling the